Well, after 9 months of thrilling action across 4 different continents, the 14th and final World Cup race of the 2024 season is just a few minutes away, with the elite men's race coming up live from Brasilia in South America, and it should be a fitting way to finish the campaign. More than 40 men taking their chance here.
And looking in that top 10, I mean, you've got John Reid, who's won a World Cup already this year. Callum McCluskey's won a World Cup. Sergio Baxter's got some medals. So it's a really strong top 10 and plenty of men there to challenge Hidalgo for the win today.
Yeah, Diego Moya also has been on the podium this season at this level. Manuel Messias hasn't raced much this season, but we know from his exertions in the World Championship Series how talented he is. Andrew Buck of Chile may also cause a surprise here this morning. But as we mentioned, when the women swam earlier, it took them pretty much bang on 10 minutes, which is longer than we would normally expect. So away we go then. The last race of the 2024 World Cup season is underway. 42 men here in Brasilia, and the home fans with very high hopes that Miguel Hidalgo can make it a glorious conclusion to the season.
See that, all the yellow hats there on the right, they're our top ranked athletes. They've all gone to pretty much the same side, but it looks like we've got some athletes on the left currently moving away. But as we get closer to those boys, we do see it kind of come together a little bit more. It looks like it's Bolido that's made his way to that boy first. Then we've got number 5 there, Diego Moya. Looks like he's just tucked in behind him. Number 1 there, Miguel Hidalgo, sat in about 6th or 7th position. He is a good all-round athlete, Hidalgo. He's a great swimmer. His bike strength, I wasn't quite sure where his bike strength was, but considering his first World Series podium was in Weihai, which was on such a strength course, we know his bike strength is good. And athletes that are slightly under pressure in the swim, maybe just off the back, will try and use that run to get themselves comfortably into that front group.
Yeah, it's going to be a test for maybe after about the first, 8 or 10 men. So 9.5 minutes dead out the water.
It's Moya, one of the Mexican athletes, didn't quite catch the name or number. There's Hidalgo. John Reid's up there as well.
No surprise, Reid prominent. So how many are we going to get as they prepare to get on the bikes? Moya going to come to stand number 5. We had one of those stands fall over actually in the women's race.
Good transition from Bolido. He came in about 3rd down but managed to get out first. Oh, a big massive bodies now all coming out at the same time. So this is a really tricky bike course for breakaways, but these athletes now at the front, they've got to try and make the most of it. They've got through transition really well, really smoothly. It's not going to be sitting up and waiting. They're going to really get to the front, keep pushing on, because it's such a long way. Look, we see the athletes in the back still coming around that corner. It's really strung out.
Well, that gives you one view of the JK Bridge, Steel and Arch Bridge. It goes across Lake Paranoa. 1,200 metres long it is.
But there's our leaders around that first dead turn. We see that smaller group, looks like they're just coming onto the back of them.
We've got 11, and then there's a small gap, and then a similar number, and then another gap. So kind of racing in 3 virtually equally sized groups at the moment.
Oh, it's so close now, isn't it? Just a few seconds, that second group almost there. This could really slow things. We may see that 3rd group catch up. It's when you get that feeling when everyone's so close in the water, although there's been breaks opened up over the first lap, it feels like in sprint distance racing on this kind of course, it does tend to all come back together. Some of the athletes will have had fun over this first lap or two to really try and break it up. Is that Hidalgo on the front?
It is.
He's been doing a lot of work over this lap, and it's like he's got a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, and maybe he was hoping like 2 or 3 might come with him and they could get away.
I think someone will jump over to him if they can. It's a great opportunity. I mean, I can't believe they would be letting him ride down the road.
Probably not a good plan as a premier triathlete in the field. So they're all together again as they come through transition, half done on the bike, 2 laps down, 2 to go.
It's a good gap now to that second group.
I think we're up to 15 now.
Yeah.
And as you said a while ago, they nearly caught on, didn't they? And
yeah,
now...
it looked, well, the second group got there, didn't they? And then there was that big push, and it looked like the third group weren't too far away.
Yeah.
But, that pressure that was applied at the start of this second lap by Sergio Baxter and then Miguel Hidalgo on the second part of the lap really has pushed them away from the third group.
Spaniard's got himself a little mini break here. He kept looking back. No one came with him, so he thought, I'll just press on. Yeah, so that break's been finally covered. The first World Championship event next year is in the middle of February. The grand final in Australia is late again. It's in October, middle of October. So, as you say, it's a long time. You have to find a way to pace yourself and try and peak for the events that really matter.
See, some of the athletes will start to position themselves closer to the front now. They want to be closest to the front when they get to the final dead turn, so they're there at the front through that like slight descent back down towards transition. There was a moment where a couple of people almost touched the group, but look, chase group now just a few seconds off the back.
So off the bikes they come, and the chase is right there with him. Effectively, they got caught right at the death.
Yeah, and it was Buck from Chile, and it was one of the Chileans that had gone off the front. John Reed a little bit further back.
Buck is the first man out, along with McCluskey of Australia.
Yeah, Hidalgo struggled a little bit getting the shoes on.
But still in a decent position early on, as they head out for 2.5 kilometre laps. So it is Messias, and we know his quality as a runner.
And I think he might have been in the second group as well, so he's caught on just at the right time.
And must have had a very, very good transition also. There's Hidalgo, getting cheered on the whole way round, no doubt.
Then Macias's form is a little unknown. We definitely know he was injured into the games. And he hasn't raced that much World Triathlon stuff this year.
No, it's only his 5th race. And that includes a 45th in the Olympics. He DNF'd in both his World Series races in Calgary and Hamburg. He did get a medal in a Europe Premium Cup race in the Netherlands in June, a silver.
Yeah, and he was running really well there. But like, taking off.
He's absolutely flying. Well, we know, again, talking about athletes that come good towards the back end. He won Vina Del Mar last year, didn't he? Towards the end of the season.
Yeah. This is where, for Hidalgo, you can't let the pressure get to you of coming in where number one, thinking I just have to get a medal, because you just want to race the race as you want and not put too much pressure on yourself and just execute as you would any other race. Because this is where you can start to feel under pressure. It can kind of get into your head a little bit. It's a good gap Macias has opened up already. Macias at the moment absolutely running away with it. Buck now to the front, the young athlete. So this is his first year out of juniors. But not worried about those big names around him. He's happy to go to the front, push the pace on.
Yeah, so Buck, McCluskey, Hidalgo and Baxter in what looks like a fruitless chase, because at the moment, Macias now on his final lap is 20 seconds plus clear of this quartet.
Almost afford to ease back a little bit at this point. He's so far ahead.
Just could never have scripted this.
No, I mean, I saw him on the start list, but I presumed he might be in the same form we saw in Paris.
Yeah.
Just hasn't really been in it. But yeah, it's always good to see these athletes coming back and having great performances. And that's the thing with triathlon, you just never know what is going to happen, do you? You can't just look at previous form, because somebody's obviously gotten themselves back into form.
Got time to acknowledge the home fans as he comes onto the blue carpet, and there is no one anywhere else in sight. You need a telescope to see the rest. And Manuel Macias wins a home World Cup in Brasilia in phenomenal style. That's the way to end a drought of average results. Dominate a race. See who is going to get silver and bronze. We know there were 4 of them. It looks like McCluskey is going to come home for silver ahead of Baxter. And that is the way of it. McCluskey gets the silver and Sergio Baxter takes bronze. Hidalgo just misses out on the podium.
Yeah, disappointment there for Hidalgo. Wasn't his day. Andre Buck as well, great performance there for his first ever World Cup. John Reed coming in 6th place, so not quite that win he had earlier this year, but another solid result.
He's getting more and more consistent, isn't he, for sure?
Wow, good for Batista as well. He's still a junior. So some of the younger guys really making an impact in this final World Cup of the year. Boyer inside the top 10. It's Kai Willie as well from Brazil, so 3 Brazilians up there. Liam Donnelly there from Canada just finishing.
Willie of Brazil, absolutely exhausted.
I think he's inside the top 10 though, so that's a good day for Brazil. I mean, we know Miguel Hidalgo is going to be disappointed not to cut onto the podium with the season he's had this year. It was something you probably would have expected, but it has been a long season for some of these athletes.
This is not my best year, but probably today my best day in the year. I'm very happy in the Roma race. I'm feeling very good in the run. I'm very happy. I'm feeling the run very good. I'm starting the running and my leg is very strong. Yes.
Callum, you started the season, the World Cup season, with a win in New Zealand, and now closing up the season with another silver medal. How does that feel today?
Yeah, it's really good. I think my World Cups this year have been pretty solid, and I've been pretty consistent. But yeah, I guess it's a little bit disappointing as well because I sort of haven't performed at the World Series level. So I guess next year I'll be really looking to make sure I can get some good performances there. Yeah, well, I guess on the bike I was just sort of staying towards the front and being smart, and then on the run I tried to go with Messias, but he was way too fast and I couldn't hold that, so I sort of slowed down. And then us 4 in that second group, we were just sort of running very tactically, and I sort of just waited to the sprint, and I sort of backed my sprint and sort of knew that I might probably had the best sprint finish, so I just waited to the end, and luckily I got second across the line.
Yeah, it seems like this year is all about thirds in World Cups. I got third in Valencia and also third here, but super happy. I couldn't really ask for more to an end to this really long season. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my family and my girlfriend that they've gone pretty much every single race with me, and then unfortunately they've not been able to come all the way over to this side of the world, but they're a huge support, and I've just been thinking about them the whole time. Going back home now on holidays, I think we've all learned some good holidays, so yeah, super happy with the race. Messias was just on another level. He was honestly in his own race, and then yeah, I guess when it was just us 3 fighting for podium, I was thinking, well, one of us is going to leave without a medal, and I didn't want to be that person. And then I felt pretty bad the whole race. I've been with gastro the whole week, so just not feeling good, having stomach issues, and yeah, just left it all out on the line. I thought, it's the last race, I might as well just leave it all out.
So bronze medal for Sergio Baxter. It's his second World Cup medal of the season. Callum McCluskey claiming the silver. As he started the season with that fantastic win in Napier in the opening World Cup of the year, and he finishes it also on the podium. Macias, who from nowhere really found one of the best performances of his career today. Yes, he's got medals in World Championship Series races, but he'd really done very little this term until producing, well, one of the runs of his life to win by a street. And they can look forward to a little bit of a break. They don't get much rest now. The season seems to go on and on and on. But chance, once they can get the cork out, well, McCluskey's away. There we go. See, Sergio's still struggling. He can maybe spend the close season working out how to uncork a bottle of champagne. I think he's cracked it, has he? Yes, no. Needs a bit of help. There we go.